You've been doing a lot of adventuring, and it's time for you to take a nice, comfy, cozy nap, maybe on a ceiling somewhere. Hopefully not, but one never knows. You're brushing your fur, getting your teeth ready. You've got your nice little foothold wherever you're sleeping today. No blanket needed because you're just that tough. You settle down, close your eyes, drift off immediately into sleep. And as you start to dream, you begin to feel like your consciousness is being pulled away from the dream and into somewhere a bit more lucid. Suddenly, your vision is black. You feel like you're asleep, but you know you're not. But you don't exactly feel entirely awake either. You open your eyes to try and discern where you are, what's happening. When you do, you see an area filled with fog. Very dense, thick fog. It doesn't show anything beyond it. When you look down at your body, try and determine what position you're in, you appear to be seated in a chair of some kind, in front of a table, in this very large, fog-filled room. And on the other side of the table is a figure. At first, when you look at the figure, try to narrow your eyes and focus on it. But it seems that the more you focus on the figure, the blurrier, harder to see it gets. When you unfocus your eyes and try to stare past the figure, you feel like you can almost understand their shape, who they might be. But then as soon as you try to focus back again, get more details, it fades back into fuzziness. At this point, the figure across from you doesn't seem to be doing anything. You don't see anything else in the room besides the table in front of you. You don't feel anything aside from the chair that you're sitting on.
I'd come to the conclusion I must be having one of them crazy dreams again. So I dust off the table and attempt to sleep on the table.
At this point, the figure, you feel them tapping on the table, and they say, "Hello? Um, excuse me, homie, please wake up.
5 more minutes.
Please, if you, I,
Please?
I
Who says please anymore?
mean,
You're not
I
part of my
guess I
group.
do.
Nobody in my group says please. They usually kick me out of my bed. Who are you?
Um, I'm me, and, thank you for coming here and for waking back up. Um, you're actually here because I'd like to ask you a few questions and do an interview with you. Would that be okay?
You said you're me, but me isn't a name, or is it like one of those foreign names, like you, or is me your name, or you're saying you're me, intending I'm supposed to know who you are?
The last one.
You're going to great lengths to not say your name.
I don't think you need to know my name, but, you know, that's okay.
That's okay. You know, yeah, sure. Definitely don't need to know the name of. Where am I? Where are we?
Uh, this is a very special place, and it's the only place where I can see you. And other than that, I don't really think I could say anything else.
Would revealing the information put you in harm?
No,
So then, what's the harm in telling me?
I mean, it's not for me, it's you know, for you.
Definitely not for me. What? Okay. Hmm. All right. Very cryptic. Uh. So I'm here, and you summoned me here, intending I know who you are. So there must be a valid reason for this. So I'll let
Hmm.
you explain.
I have an interview that I'd like to conduct with you to get to know you a little bit more and ask you some questions, understand your personality.
That in itself raises some questions, but I won't question them, seeing as how my questions usually go unanswered. So, all right, shoot. I'll answer to the best that I can.
Thank you so much. To start off with, what is your full name?
You know me.
Would you answer the question, please? If you feel comfortable answering? I mean, if you don't, then you can give me partial answers or say that you just don't want to answer at all.
uh, I'm Homey. You know, the homie you know. I'm Homey. Last name Jones.
What is your race?
I'm a kitsune, as you can see from these tails. And I just for a sec unwrap the tail belt and then just put it back because those are the only two tails I have.
So you use your tails as a belt. That's interesting.
Yeah, that way it doesn't get stepped on or dirty.
Quite convenient. How old are you?
Mm, I'm 39.
Where were you born?
I was born in the lands of Garlana.
What are your parents' names?
How is this relevant?
This is to get a understanding of your baseline answers.
My father's name was Stefan, and my mother's name is Gradina.
Were Stefan and Gradina the ones who primarily raised you, or was there anyone else involved?
That's kind of a two-parter question. But yeah, they raised me a good amount of my life. My mom wasn't, she was mostly a housewife. I was more of a father's boy, growing up. So I took a lot of his, I guess, personality and stuff. But he never really was the fatherly type.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be. It's something that I feel like was something that shaped me well. You know? Right?
Hello? The figure was sitting across from you, thinking and about to reach out to poke your face because it thought that you were having issues with communication. But once the figure sees you say hello, it pulls its finger back. I'm sorry about that. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born and grew up in Garlana.
Did you go to school where you were in Garlana?
Yes, I went to a military school.
Speaking of military school, how would you describe your primary fighting style?
I'd say it's pretty good. I like it. I mean, I figure the best way to take out an opponent is to immobilize them. If they can't do their movements, then that's the end of a battle. I grab them, disarm them if I can, and try to stop them from breathing. It can be lethal or non-lethal, and if I need to block anything, I use their body to block it.
Hmm.
So overall, well-suited combat for me.
Thank you for answering that first round of questions. Um, Now I'm going to ask you some questions more pertaining to your personality and the things that have to do with you. What is your preferred gender
Male,
and your sexuality?
uh, you know, pretty straightforward. Uh, Females.
Uh, do you identify as religious in any way?
Mm, I wouldn't say religious, but more spiritual. Seeing as how
Okay.
talking to one right now, and seeing is believing.
I'm not a spirit though.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite item
A favorite item?
in your possession right now? Not necessarily right here and now, but like in general, in your possession.
I don't think I would say I'd have a favorite item. No, not really. Should I
It's
have?
not something, it's not something that you use a lot or that you have
Have
any
any
emotional
emotional ties
ties to.
to? Uh, I mean, I really like my whip. I wouldn't say I'd be heartbroken if it was gone. I'd be like, damn, that was a good whip. Uh, you know, I don't know. I don't have any emotional ties to any particular objects on me.
Do you have any things that you like?
Things that I like. Living, pretty good. Breathing, that kind of goes with living. Uh, Doing things that aren't supposed to be done. That's pretty cool. Sometimes, something gets me in trouble, but you know, it, I like to see how much trouble I can get without getting in too much trouble. It's a bit of a thrill. I'm a bit of a thrill seeker.
Do you have anything that you dislike?
Dying sucks. Not breathing, kind of goes with that. With dying, don't breathe for too long, you die. Uh, I don't think I dislike a particular, you know, thing, other than the usual things like undeserved murder, you know, the bad stuff. I don't like bad stuff.
What is your favorite food?
Ace, any sandwich, like if it can be made into a sandwich, that like there's no particular sandwich, just the fact that it can be sandwiched is like yeah. So, yeah, I say I like sandwiches. Anything that I can put between two pieces of bread.
Do you have, well, I'm assuming that this may play along with the things that you like, but do you have any hobbies that you like to engage in?
Ooh, I like mining, like a rock that people put prices on, and I find this rock, and now I get money for finding this rock. That's pretty fun. Finding valuable rock. Training is pretty fun. I like to build my mass, gain some muscles. The stronger I am, the better in combat I can be.
All right. What is your ideal date?
Ideal date. Ooh, I don't think I've been on one of those. Maybe a nice lunch of sandwiches on the edge of a beach, or maybe a board. Yeah, a nice boardwalk by the beach with sandwiches. Uh, no birds, because birds make too much noise. So hopefully there's no birds around. Uh, Maybe a nice sunset, and then two whales come out from the sea, and then they like do some like symmetrical jump where they meet in the middle, and then flash, and then whoever I'm on a date with looks at me, I look at them, and then how old are you? How PG am I? I gotta keep this interview. I'll stop it
Um,
there. We stop it
yeah,
there.
sounds like you like sandwiches a lot.
Yes.
Even though I know you like sandwiches, now I'm gonna move on to the third part of the interview.
All right.
Uh, how would you briefly describe yourself?
I'd say I'm pretty well-rounded. You know, I got the brains when I need to, but I'm also not always using my brain because sometimes my brain doesn't brain. Pretty humorous. I feel like humor and life goes a long way, but I know when to be serious. Uh, I'd say I'm well-rounded. Parts of personalities.
What would you see as the best trait about your well-rounded self?
I think I am pretty funny. I think my humor is it peaks a little bit more than the other ones. Then I'm pretty strong. I don't think that counts as a personality, but I am pretty strong.
What do you see as the worst trait about your well-rounded self?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I dislike anything about myself. I don't know if maybe that's conceited of me. I don't know. I'd say before I can love someone, I love myself. And I like myself. So I don't think I dislike anything about me really.
What do you consider to be most important to you?
Most important to me, ties. I like bonds, like the bonds I make along with people. Mm, honor, gotta have that. If you live without honor, kind of sucks. What you living for? Don't live with honor.
Well, considering a hypothetical question, let's say that one of your loved ones is in trouble, but the only way that you can save them is if you give up the thing that you consider to be most important to you.
Uh,
Would you save your loved one, or
yeah. I mean, yeah, most definitely. The loved one, unless the important thing is something also alive. I mean, then I'm basically killing that thing myself. But I definitely would put lives before objective materials. Before lives over matter, or lives over sentimental value.
you described one of the most important things to you as the bonds that you have with others. So, if you were to save one of your loved ones, or the loved one that's in trouble, but then you'd have to give up the bonds that you have with those around you.
What's the question?
So, let's say that your Meemaw is in dire need of help.
I haven't mentioned her throughout this interview.
You don't need to mention her for me to know about her.
Okay, learning some new things as this interview goes on.
Consider that Meemaw is standing on the precipice of a cliff. He says, Homie, I need you to give up all your friends and all the rest of your family. But if you do that, I don't have to jump off this cliff.
And that obviously she's being mind controlled. That's a doppelganger. First, Mima would never say that. Mima is a whole. She's a holy. She's a wholesome person. I haven't mentioned her yet because I didn't feel like it was relevant, or apparently you already know this information, so you would know that Mima would never say something crazy like that. But you know, doppelganger Mima, mind controlled Mima, not Mima that's not Mima on a cliff. I'd be like, why you playing? Why you trying to prey on my downfall? Like, what are you? Why are you so mean? Why are you trying to make me give up on all these bonds? Like, I'm definitely gonna pick the bonds over fake Mima. That's a fake Mima. That's not real Mima.
But what if it was real Meemaw?
Nah, it can't be. Never. Not in any universe is that real Mima. Even in your hypothetical, like it just cannot be. You can't make a thing that cannot be.
The figure seems to be a bit flustered and starts to like rearrange things on the desk. in a more speedy fashion than they've done before.
Do I see those objects?
Yeah, they're just kind of not globulous things. Globulous. That's a new word.
How happens if I try to grab one? Can I grab
Uh,
one?
they they fade into nothingness.
For
And then
both
the
of us?
figure,
For both of us? Like if I were to grab it and fades into nothingness, does it still exist for the spirit, or for am I like did I just erase whatever she just did?
the figure will look at you and say, "Hey, it's off. Let me finish this." And
Okay.
is going to continue doing whatever it's doing. At this point, the fog in the room begins to coalesce, become very dense. You feel some heavy moisture on your fur. And the humidity, you can smell it through your nose. It sticks to your clothing as well.
So you've been brought this time, this place. It sounds like
Many expectations have been placed on you.
but based on your past performance in Garlana, it seems you haven't left much of an impression.
What if?
You fail to make an impact? Whatever important tasks you've been given or fit here for. Or what if you fail to have any impact on this world at all?
I definitely feel like I've been impactful in the things I've done. I mean, if it failed to make an impact, that just means that the right eyes aren't looking at it, you know. But I mean, I'm still alive. I can still try. It's never an end. You know, as long as I'm still breathing, I'm still achieving.
Rather hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, be gotta be. No need to put limits on myself. You know, if I don't think I can, then that's just a wall I just built for myself.
The figure seems to be finishing up collecting whatever things they have on the desk. The fog is no longer as humid as it was, as you feel the moisture on your fur begin to dissipate. It still hangs there, but you can tell there's no more mugginess even when you breathe in. And you hear across from you, "Thank you so much for." I'm
Oh
sorry.
my god. You okay? Spirit, you need some water?
I'm okay, but thank you so much for being willing to answer my questions and be here. And
Sure.
do you have any final questions for me? Because I think I've asked everything I want to ask.
I mean, primarily is who are you?
The figure seems to be thinking. I think that you'll find out.
That's one way to dodge a whole question. You give me a freebie, then just kind of flush it down.
I did say that you didn't have to answer my questions if you didn't want to.
Well, it'd be a very quick interview if I answer no question. But about all right, fine. If I can't answer, if you can't tell me who you are, do I have I met you already?
The figure continues to think, and
All right, well,
listen, I'm sorry, okay? I just,
no. Definitely, you're doing probably what you're supposed to be doing. You know, whenever. Who's this interview for, anyways? I guess that's another question. Go answer that question. You're not good with questions. That's fine. Uh, so how do I go back to me? Because I'm guessing this is not me. Is there a door? You like snap your fingers and I'm back.
um, you go back?
Go
I
back
mean,
to
yeah.
like there a door? Didn't see a door. Just saw how a lot of mist. lot of perspiration in the air.
Just let your consciousness fade back into where you were before.
Ah,
Close your eyes.
consciousness. Okay, closing them. Definitely visualizing. Visualizing a door. I open said door. Door opens. There's a light. I follow the light. Am I dead? Am I back? Where am
You open the door, you see the light, and then you jerk awake. Start,
I?
you're breathing heavily, and you're thinking, what just happened? I was dreaming. What was I dreaming about? You don't really remember.
Okay, cool. That means I don't have to write any notes. Okay.